Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the...
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Bradford now to throw on first down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dee Ford in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes, flush to his right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, a 22. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And
the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They run for it with Hunt. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
It would have been a long field goal attempt, so when you only need a few inches, this, to me, is the right decision. And they wind up picking up the conversion on fourth down.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes to throw on second down, eluding the pressure right. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you've got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On second down, here's Mahomes. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs. and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Working out of the gun. Bradford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. D. Ford in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Pushing his way through. 19 yards there on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Bradford now from the 50. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 9 yards on the play and a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 16 carries, 64 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a first down as well.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. 3rd and long for Bradford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Evans in there to get him well behind the line of scrimmage. Gosh, it's a loss of 17, and it'll be 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the 1st time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. He is going to find Hill here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
They'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 more there and another 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. That is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes They work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Bradford. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford's lost it. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Left. Here we go.
A toss play to Hunt. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford's lost it. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different in that position.
They'll run with Peterson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He's going to get it running right. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
Here's Peterson on 3rd and goal. Oh, look at it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's complete right around the 8. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 5. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of his end zone, Bradford under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for... And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Ace. Ace.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Bradford now after the fumble recovery. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Doug Baldwin, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Ryan Switzer, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to Houston, check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium, and they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Antonio Brown, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. On target over the middle to Hill. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Left, 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 left. Here we go now. Blue 45.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. 52.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Blue 45. Ace, ace.
Mahomes going to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90. Slow, slow, slow.
Now here's Mahomes. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
This is taken at the 18. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Bradford on 3rd and 2. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Bradford to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Jordan Evans in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On the ground, Kamara. Fighting his way, touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And now here comes Kansas City. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. They complete it to Hill. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, Using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
Working from the gun, Mahomes escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 20. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Ace, ace. Shoot. Left. Slow.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now Mahomes forced out to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And you can see it, as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile a division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year? And stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out of the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South, so look out.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd down, Bradford again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
And that is incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away.
certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. A gain of 3, second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And Hill with it over the middle. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
First down, Bradford. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, Bradford. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Bradford now to throw on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Working out of the gun, Bradford. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point safely through, and that will make this a 19-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dee Ford in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold it. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. Bradford. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Fielded at about the 28. A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Mahomes now to throw. Flush to his right. It's complete to Chris Conley. A big play there for KC. 43 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Mahomes going to throw it here. Buying time to his left. And he fins him off. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now.
He'll get it up the middle. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Butker on for the PAT. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one...
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards. Bradford on first down. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. D. Ford in there to get him again. And that's his 6th sack of the ball game. One off the NFL record of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw is Bradford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Being chased out left. And going deep for Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week.